I'm an OG in here.
The legendary guest.
The one, the only.
Mr. John Smith.
That's it. Pocahontas.
Okay, I'm ready. Part 2.
Alright.
Oops, I stabbed your phone. It is fine. Tell me when thinking is over. Hi everyone, and here we have with us the legendary guest of the week, Mr. John Smith.
Thank you.
Woo! Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. John Smith, the legendary, the honorable.
Plain name, but it make a lot of noise.
Holds weight. Holds weight, so I hear. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, for the most part, you know, I'm a academic advisor for the OSP program, EOF.
Shout out to OSP and EOF.
You already know how we do. I've been here for 17 years. I was I'm an alumni of this institution. You know, I studied health science when I was undergrad. And then I had an opportunity to, you know, to work for the program, and I did what I had to do and did it well. Here I am.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So we have a segment in this podcast which we like to ask our guests some questions. Are you okay with that? Are you cool?
Shoot.
All right, let's get it. So.
All right, so one thing we would like to know is, can you tell us about your experience here at NJCU? I know that you mentioned you were an alumni and a health science major. Shout out to the health science department because I'm a health science major.
Okay.
No big deal. But yeah, tell us about your experience here at NJCU. You know, has anyone inspired you? Who has inspired you while you were a student?
Well, you know, again, I come from an era that most of those people is gone. They retired, moved on. But I would say that I have a combination. I have a number of male figures, a number of women figures that kind of nurtured us. This is, you know, we have a little crew on campus. Well, colleagues. I'm not going to say crew. Colleagues that
now you know everything's a little bit more mature, so it's colleagues now.
Directors, managers, and all that stuff. But for the most part, I would say, you know, far as my associate director, Miss Maddie Crossan, she's no longer here. She's been retired for a minute. She played a major part in my development and my growth. My director, Mr. Patitsky, always supportive, always motivating. Dr. Lamar, forget about it. He's like, you know, someone that kept us on the straight and narrow. I would say, you know, Sam McGee, Gail Ford, Dr. Bozeman, Valerie Bozeman. It's Dr. Jones, Dr. Ellis.
Yes. Shout out to all these amazing people.
It's just too many. Like, it's really a lot of people that really impacted me and a bunch of other colleagues of mine that are now doing some great things. I also got to shout out my Shango brothers because, you know, we're a unit, you know what I mean? And most of them moved on to bigger and better positions in other colleges, but we still close-knit. And a lot of my brothers in Shango, you know, again, you know, Jose Balder running admissions, Woody, TLC, Knob and Registrar, Dr. Hargrove, he moved on, but major impact in our school. Armani, it's just so many, you know what I mean? I hope I didn't forget anybody, but, you know, if you Shango, you know what I'm talking about.
Definitely.
That's it. If you Shango, you know what you're talking about.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, I know some of those people. Not all.
Yes, I have actually had the pleasure of meeting some of those people. Very great individuals. So it's awesome that they got to make such a great impact on your life. It's good to recognize those who've had an impact on our lives and really influenced us and have somewhat helped us to get to where we are today.
Well, we hold each other accountable. So
That's
we have no choice but
essential.
to do good and to make moves because we hold each other accountable. Then you just go through life on some floozy type stuff. But when you got someone that's saying, yo, man, step up. We got, you know,
someone's constantly checking.
Love.
Exactly.
Is about here, but my question is, how did you get your position in the department? What made you want to work for that department?
Well, basically, I started as a peer counselor. A peer counselor is a a student that works under a counselor, like, run off papers, drag papers, go to the truck, get coffee, butter rolls, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Communicate with the
Gotta
student.
start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere. I started from the ground, from ground zero.
Mhm.
And, again, my director, shout out to Mr. P. He saw,
Shout out.
and a whole bunch of everyone in OSP was very, supportive of me from day one. Miss
Right.
Lopez taught me all the ropes. Miss Graham taught me the ropes. Again, just a lot of people that saw something in me was like, this is a perfect fit. And I was young. I was eager. I had that burning desire. I was hungry. So, coming from the inner city, the hood, wherever you want to label it, most of our students that we kind of bring into our program that we change their lives come from the inner city, North Jersey City,
Right.
East Orange, they need a shot. So I could relate to that because I come from that product. I come from that environment. So for the most part, they saw how I was connecting with students, and students was showing me love. And from there on, hey, it's been a wonderful journey. Been a wonderful journey.
That's awesome. And on behalf of the students, and myself being one of them, a student here at NGCU, thank you for, helping out those individuals who can definitely use that extra, line of support
Yeah.
Well,
that
listen,
they may not have.
Pay it forward.
Right.
That's all you got to do is pay it
Yeah.
forward.
Hashtag pay it forward.
That's
Actually,
right.
I have a couple of friends who were in the program, and they graduated last year, I think. Yeah, they're doing pretty well. I think one of them works at a lab now. She was a chemistry major. So, yeah, you guys are doing really good work there.
Yeah, we make sure.
Yeah.
We plant the seed. It's up to you to. Not all students comply with this.
Right.
Some students come with their own agenda and they see themselves out the door. But for the ones that is willing to open up, willing to gain some experience and listen, that's the key thing is listening. We got the blueprint to to pretty much get you where you need to go. And again, EOF is in all the colleges, you know what I'm saying, community as well as 4-year. So also I want to shout out to all my other, colleagues in all the universities, Mercer County, Montclair, Ramapo, Rutgers, all over. Georgian Courts, you name it. I know people everywhere I go. So I want to shout out to the EOF nationwide, tri-state.
Definitely. So since you've worked so closely with students and for quite some time now, how would you say that the student dynamic has changed over the years?
How it changed? Well, I would go back, let's say 10 years. Students was more hungry. Students was more focused. Students, was just pretty much saying, if I just give me that opportunity, and that's all I need is the opportunity, and I can make it happen. Especially with the the guidance. Now students are coming here this is Sesame Street, this the 13th grade. You know what I mean? Wampa Room, Six Flags, and it disgusts me because when I reflect on how I got to where I had to get to,
Right.
yeah, I ain't have that silver spoon, and most of these students ain't got no spoon. So they acting like they got it like that, and then the sad part about it is they don't gain nothing, and they go right back to the hoods they come from, or wherever they come from, broke, with no degree, no type of whatever, wishing on a star, and at the end of the day, you still got to pay Sally Mae back. So one thing that really the difference from the time I was, coming up in my educational, experience, what I see right now is a lot of students, they not challenged. They coming in, they thinking that somebody owed them something. They coming here on some straight up, missing all these days, coming up with all these BS excuses, just coming with the 13th grade. And at the end of the day, we still getting paid. You still gotta pay Sally Mae back, and you got nothing to show for. So to this generation here, no, I'm not putting everybody in that pool, because there's some students that I come across that just give me that one shot, they do it. and they struggle, but we right there to keep them afloat and try to keep them focused, and they graduate. But majority, it's like Wampa room around here.
I definitely can see how you can see that
It's
that
sad.
difference.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really
it is.
sad.
Yeah.
It
You
is.
know, these parents taking out loans. They on a fixed income. They credit not right,
Right.
but they want to get their kid out the environment that they in, with all the shooting and robberies and all this other nonsense. And they'll take a risk on signing off on debt and loan just because they didn't have the opportunity to go to college. And they say, you know what, you want to go? I'm going to make it happen. And then next thing you know, you come up here on some old BS, running around like a little hot pocket, running around here doing all this nonsense, get on probation, and that's the one thing also. Students think they've been surviving so much on C's and D's that they think they could bring that into college, and then they don't know they get on probation, pending dismissal, and the next thing you know, you still paying it out your pocket and you ain't got nothing to show for.
Right.
Real talk.
Everyone gets that one opportunity. If they don't take it and in the moment.
One shot
Yeah.
in life. When I talk to students from different countries, that's one thing about EOF, OSP. We got students from everywhere, and they share like, yo, I just need a shot because if in my country, it's
We
like
don't really get
slim
many
to
of
none.
those.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't represent the family if you ain't educated coming from
Right.
certain countries.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And then you learn, if you don't represent the family and you don't get education, you're a peasant. Like you like non-existent. They don't even represent you in the family. So again, it is what it is. But I just really pray for this generation. If you want to go to college and you want to become something, you gotta be focused. And again, you gotta want to give it all you got. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, you wasting money.
Right. You have to
And
work
time.
for it.
And
Honestly.
time. That's it.
Time is not on anyone's side, and the fact that some students, as you mentioned, have somewhat taken this opportunity, an opportunity not accessible to many, for granted, is really sad, because a lot of students come from situations where this was pretty much like a last hope, or this was like a miracle for them to be here. And the fact that some students did have more accessible than others and are taking it for granted and wasting their time and focusing on things that once they leave this campus, it's not going to matter. So it's really
It's
sad,
terrible.
but
It's sad.
hopefully a change will come.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hope so.
So, lastly, we would like to ask you, what is the one thing you would like students to take away when they come into your office?
That I care. I'm behind you. I'm gonna support you, but you're not gonna drain me. I'm not gonna put all my energy into you when I know that you coming 50-50.
Right.
I'm gonna build you up the best way I could. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna network you. I'm gonna guide you, but you gotta meet me halfway. If you don't meet me halfway, then it's gonna be short-lived. And that's the one thing I let them know. I care about you because, again, we need more professionals out here.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And reflecting back to, there's a number of female students as well as male students that I embarked it on over my tenure here that just wanted one shot. When I look at Lenny, Lenny Williams, doing some crazy, wonderful things. Amit, Brian, Sharif Battle, Eli, my boy, my former student just graduated, Jamal Bass, got his own fitness thing going on. It's countless others. Like, I just have a wealth of students that now got their own businesses, doing what they got to do. One of my students, Paul Gons, he left, came back, got his degree, doing his thing. I got a number of female students that, came in And now they just like, thank you, thank you. I said, nah, you know, you wanted it. You know, we worked together, and now you can reap the benefits. You know what I mean? But there's, you know, when we start shooting names off, you know, so many, but you don't want to forget. So that's why I just had, you know, some of my students that, on top of my head, that are still in contact. Steve Harris, you know, one of my students that got his transportation company, you know, and I you know, and you know, the ladies get a little, why ain't you say to me? Yeah. So I said, all my female students over the years that doing wonderful things right now,
Right.
you already know. I just don't want to leave your name out, but I better just keep it general like that.
Yes.
Stay neutral.
Wow, that's really amazing. And you know, we can tell that you care about your students so much because, you know, you actually keep in touch with them even after they graduate and you push them. So it's pretty amazing. So moving on to our kind of funny, weird portion of the podcast, we're just going to ask you some funny questions. So what is the weirdest question a student has asked you? We know some of them, you know, don't know much, but what is one of the weirdest questions you have received from a student?
I think one of the weirdest questions that a student asked me was, where's the cafeteria? We were standing in the cafeteria. And I just wanted to just take a cup of water and just throw it in his face and throw him in, you know, hit him in the head with a plate. I said,
no.
this is the cafeteria, and we talking in the cafeteria. We conversing in the cafeteria. And, and I said,
You get that,
and I just walked away because
no.
That's really all you can do in that situation, is just walk away.
Yeah.
I took a half a day from work after that. I was like, I got to go home. It's over. I'm done.
Like, what has this come
It's
to
over.
now?
We in the cafeteria. We asked me where the cafeteria at. So, yeah, that's the most weird.
This is what it's come to.
Yeah.
Asking where the cafeteria is, and you're standing right in it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, what would be your favorite, like, go-to spot if you know you're, like, really looking for that one, like, pick-me-up meal? Like, where would you go here on campus for that pick-me-up meal?
On campus?
Yes.
I mean, where can you go? I mean, Dunkin' Donuts, or
The
you
Calf.
go into G-Sub Calf or Vodra. Shout out to them too, because those my peoples.
Doing their thing.
All in the cafeteria, all the cafeteria
New
workers, everybody, they feed us. Students complain about the food, but you paying for it, and it's good to me. So, you know what I mean? You might have our days, but really, I would say probably the dinette spot right here by on the second floor, the dining area right here for faculty.
Oh, yeah. That's fancy.
They pretty much give us some real good stuff up in there. They don't give y'all
That's
that.
fancy. Yeah, no, students are letting
Yeah, $10, or you can eat, but
one day.
It must be nice.
it's very colorful food. You know.
Get out
day.
your food groups in there
Yeah,
all
it's
at
colorful.
once. Alright. So thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
John Smith, for sharing some gems of wisdom, knowledge, and, you know, for helping out the many students that you have over the years. I mean, it takes a very kind-hearted and open-minded and down-to-earth human being to actually do that and go that extra mile for students. And, you know, on behalf of the students, Hugger and I would like to say thank you. And I'm sure that the students you've helped and inspired and influenced throughout your years here would say the same exact thing. So
Definitely.
thank you very much
I'm
for
only
being
doing
here.
God's work. God
To
has
that.
blessed me, so I gotta pay it forward. Thank
That's
you for
right.
having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you around soon.
Thank you. Salute.